cookies. Today I am going to give you some winter RECS, so let's get started. I know it's still early in the year, what we have left of it, to be discussing winter. Usually winter, like in my opinion, begins in December, but I wanted to go ahead and make this because I have a lot of videos that I'm planning for December that are going to be fun. So, a lot of these, well, actually, 9 of these, because it's 10 recommendations. 9 of these are ebooks, because I'm really behind in buying the books. I do have one. So I'm going to start with the one that I have, and then I'm going to show the covers for the rest of them on the screen and whatever. So the one that I do have is Conceal Don't Feel by Jen Kalanita. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. But basically it is a retelling of Frozen. What if Anna and Elsa never knew each other? Obviously because of Elsa's powers. Set in snow, set in the winter-ish time period. Well, summer, but she turns it to winter. But it's a really fun book. I had a lot of fun with it, and Elsa is actually like engaged to be with Hans, so that's weird. The next one that I have is I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. So the tagline for this is ballet and babysitting bring 2 teens together in this very merry holiday rom-com. So it is a rom-com. Holidays are a really good season to get into rom-coms. Usually there's a lot of them that come out around this time of year. The synopsis says Noelle Partridge, Chris's name, is known for 3 things: being the best ballet dancer, babysitter, and person with the most Christmas spirit in her small town. But lately she's bored by the lessons at her dance school, and her friends and father are more bah humbug than Hallmark movie marathon. This is why I like winter rom-coms. They're full of winter puns. So when her favorite babysitting clients ask her to accompany them on a ski trip over the winter break, she packs her bags for the slopes. It helps that they are offering to double her rate. She'll need the money for Beacon, an elite ballet academy that's granted her an audition. Noelle's ready to hit deck the halls and have fa-la-la fun until Wyatt, the older half-brother of her babysitting charges, decides to surprise the family for the holidays. And, you know, rom-comness ensues. So, it sounds really, really cute, really wintry. Definitely a must. Along the same veins, I'm also recommending The Holiday Switch, which I've already read. I've already loved so much. The Holiday Switch is about this Filipino-American girl named Lila, who is working at a quasi-bookstore, touristy store. She lives in like this tourist town that was famous for a movie, maybe it was a rom-com, but I know it was a romantic movie of sorts. And they are coming into town to do this special release, but she's having to deal with the bookshop owner's nephew, who has his own ideas of how the store should be run. It's very fun. It's set in a Christmassy town. It's full of Christmas puns, and there's so much Filipino American diversity in there. I don't think I've ever had, except for maybe the Jasmine Project, but until like this year, I've not had a lot of books with Filipino Americans as the main characters, and now I've had 2. Very excited about it. One that is like an old favorite of mine is Winter Song by S.A. Jones. This one is a like a Labyrinth remake. Basically this girl's lured to the underworld and she has to try to find her way out. So like I'm just going to read like part of the synopsis. Last night of the year, the last night of the year, now the days of winter began, and the Goblin King rides abroad searching for his bride. All her life, Liesel has heard tales of the beautiful, dangerous Goblin King. They've enraptured her mind, her spirit, and inspired her musical compositions. Now 18 and helping run her family's inn, Liesel can't help but feel that her magical dreams and childhood fantasies are slipping away. But when her own sister is taken by the Goblin King, she has no choice but to journey to the underground to save her. It was really good. I really liked it. I've yet to read book 2, but there is a book 2. I'll also put that cover here. But the covers are great. The first book, solid story. And eventually I will read book 2. Now this is one that I've seen floating around. I've yet to read it, but it looks super cute. It's called Nick and Noelle's Christmas Playlist, which wasn't there like another book by a Nick and a Noelle? I don't know. But basically what the synopsis says is, pressing play on Happily Ever After in this charming health holiday rom-com, Nick Winters and Noelle Carter have known each other their whole lives. After years of shared family holidays, working together on Winters' Christmas tree farm, and being in each other's safe havens, they wouldn't dream of crossing the line from friends to something more. But when Nick comes home from the holidays from serving overseas and finds his long-term girlfriend has decided to get her stocking stuffed elsewhere, Noelle is there to pick him up and show him that instead of a blue Christmas, he will instead have a winter Christmas time without his cheating ex. Sounds like it's full of Christmas puns. I'm there for it. I like friends to lovers romance. Now, one that I read last year, which I thought was such a fun read, is 10 Blind Dates, which is basically about this girl named Sophie, who is just coming off of a breakup, I believe, of her boyfriend. She goes to this family event, and it's a huge family. I mean, like, huge. And I love that about her, because I also had a huge family, not, like, immediate, but, like, in my dad's family, it was pretty big. But she decides to go with her family, spend time there, and they decide as a family to set her up on 10 blind dates to let her have fun. And through it all, she discovers love, which is really cute. And it's also a part of a series. Now, this one takes place in the summer, but it's by the same author, and it's 10 Truths and a Dare. And this is about a cousin of Sophie. This one is Olivia. This one is Olivia. So if you're into, like, family sets me up on blind dates kind of thing, which is a weird trope, but it's really it's really good in these books, I'd recommend it. Like, go ahead, check them out. Now, another one that's in, like, the fantasy vein, but it's not, like, over fantasy. It's like, it doesn't have but doesn't have a lot of fantasy, is Even the Darkest Stars by Heather Fawcett. It was pretty good. Basically, it's about this girl named Kansan. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not entirely sure. But she kind of wants to be like this, like, cartographer kind of thing. What does the synopsis say? She dreams of becoming the Emperor's Royal Explorer. Okay, that's what it is, explorer. She wants to do the royal exploring. And this important guy comes into town, and he chooses her to help on his expedition up this, like, think of, like, Everest-sized mountain. And it was a very fun adventure. Not a lot of fantasy, very little magic, but it was still pretty good. And they're on a mountain in the middle of winter. It was fun. Not for them, because, you know, mountain's cold, but it was still fun for me. Right. Another one that is also fantasy that I'm going to include here that I've not read yet, but I really want to, is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Bosch. Absolutely adore her writing, and I can't wait to read it. I'm, like, staring at the book. It's, like, right off of there, but I'm too lazy to go and grab it, so I'm just going to show the pretty cover instead. But basically what the synopsis says is, 16 years ago, the kingdom of Winter was conquered and its citizens enslaved, leaving them without magic or a monarch. Now the Winterians' only hope for freedom is the 8 survivors who have managed to escape and who have been waiting for an opportunity to steal back the Winter's magic and rebuild the kingdom ever since. It sounds so good. And it sounds a little winter festive kind of, not festive, because... But it sounds like a very fun read. I know a lot of people highly regard it. So I can't wait to read it. Now this one is called, this next one is called Before I Let Go by, I always never say her name properly, Marieke Nijkamp? I'm so sorry that I mispronounced that. But I read this so long ago, 2017, in December. It's a pretty good winter read, but it's also very dark. So basically, best friends Corey and Kyra were inseparable in their snow-covered town of Lost Creek, Alaska. When Corey moves away, she makes Kira promise to stay strong during the dark winter and wait for a return. The days before Corey is to return home, Kira dies. Corey is devastated and confused. The entire Lost community speaks in hushed tones about the town's lost daughter, saying her death was meant to be, and they push Corey away like she's a stranger. Corey knows something is wrong. but with every hour her suspicion grows. Lost is keeping secrets, chilling secrets. Basically, this author, if you don't know her, she writes a lot of books that deal with tough subjects and stuff like that. This one, super good. I highly recommend it, and this author in general, I highly recommend you read her. And the last one that I'm going to recommend is one that I don't see a lot, but I'm pretty sure is set in the winter. I'm pretty sure. Not entirely, but I'm pretty sure. And the cover definitely gives a wintry vibe, but it's If I Stay by Gail Forman. An oldie but a goodie. This one will make you cry. Basically, this girl, her name is Mia. She's in a car with her family coming back from somewhere, I can't remember where, and they're in a terrible car accident that instantly kills her sister, her mother, her dad, leaving only her, but she's in a quasi-coma, but she's having an out-of-body experience where she can see everything, no one can see her, and she has to decide whether she should die and go on with her family, or if she should stay. And there's a lot of like back and forth around it. Like the grandpa tells her one thing, the grandma tells her another, her boyfriend is there, stuff like that. It's so good. It's so sad. You're gonna cry. If you want to cry this holiday season, pick that up because you're gonna cry. So that is 10 recommendations for books that you can pick up this winter. We have some fantasy, we have some rom-coms, and we have some dark stuff. It pretty much rounds out any list that I make with recommendations. But check all these books out, and I'll see you next time. Bye!